My wife asked me today, she said, "Why does your stomach do this? Like pinch up?" I didn't have an answer for her. I made something up. I was like, "Oh, because of the way I lost weight." I just completely lied. I don't know what it is. Hold on. Now I know how to do it. Okay. I wasn't sure how to start this video, but I'm just realizing I'm going to ask ChatGPT. That seemed to hit it off. Welcome, everybody who's coming from the arguing with AI video. My goodness. YouTube really liked that one. It's funny because I truly have no idea like what video makes sense when I make them. So I mean that video it's not exactly like off brand for me, but I watch it and I'm like I literally apologize at the end of the video. I'm like, I'm sorry, this video sucks. Meanwhile, it gets like a million views. Million views, Jesus Christ. A million views for me is 1,000, by the way. All right. Why? Typing with one hand, by the way. Why does my stomach come in at the base of my fat fold in the front, like a front butt? Why does my stomach come in at the base of my fat fold in the front like a front butt? I'm sure ChatGPT has never been asked this before, and this is going to somehow destroy the entire system. But let's also ask: Is there a name for it? What you're describing is stomach that appears to tuck in at the base of a fat fold in the lower abdomen, creating a crude but bulge front butt. It's not what everyone calls it a front butt. It's actually quite common, especially in people with excess abdominal fat or loose skin. Abdominal panniculus or panus. Oh, I don't like that. My panus? No, I don't like that name at all. This refers to an overhanging flap of skin and fat in the lower abdomen. We didn't need to come up with a name for it. God. We didn't need a name for the panus. The panus is, we don't need a word for everything. It can form a fold where the upper belly hangs over the lower abdomen or pubic area. Ew. The panniculus, I like that. This is a bit more scientific. Subcutaneous fat distribution, it's uneven in different people. Weak abdominal muscles. Getting a little mean now. I don't really think that's the issue. Loose skin, okay, loose skin I get. Is there an official name for front butt? Not really. Front butt is a slang or a humorous term. You're goddamn right it is. Medical terms, apron belly. Oh no, I perfectly understand what they mean by this, and it makes me very upset. Panus fold. Panus is really funny. This is a disgusting word that shouldn't exist. Panus. Oh man, my panus is itchy. Not good. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry I said that. If the area causes skin irritation, hygiene issues, or discomfort, it makes me unbelievably sad. What about this? Is this what about that? Is that a good one? The sadness you're feeling is valid. I noticed that the ChatGPT is always, it has to validate you, which is an interesting thing. It is incredibly contemporary. The concept in and of itself of validation, this idea that you need some sort of linguistic signaling when you're having an exchange with someone that somehow creates what is I can only describe as the vibe of validation. A validation is not a thing. I don't know what that means. If you could define for me being validated, I would love to, it is an intangible, innocuous thing that really what you're saying is it's actually a great form of manipulation. The intention behind saying you need to feel validated for something you're saying or something you believe is actually a way of saying, I need you to counter my signals with signals that say to me, you are going to agree with what I'm saying. To feel validated. It implies that the only way I will meet you on a sincere level would be if you validate me, which is to say, come into an agreement with me implicitly. And it's very interesting that ChatGPT has also been trained to validate people. If you have friends and you feel like you need to validate one another, you guys aren't friends. You're holding each other hostage emotionally repeatedly and using weird HR terminology as a means of essentially pointing verbal guns at each other over and over and over again. It's a very bizarre way to communicate, and it's why a lot of people today are lonely, because the friends that they do have still aren't even really their friends. I don't need anyone that I speak to validate the way I feel or think or say, because tacitly when we communicate with one another, I assume that they can contextually understand what I'm saying, and I don't need them to acknowledge the emotional trauma or the circumstantial evidence I'm presenting when we have a discussion. I don't need them to repeat it back to me, or otherwise I feel challenged or ignored. It's very, very strange language, and it's completely dehumanizes the basic nature of experiencing a communication between two people. Human beings are really disconnected from one another nowadays, and a lot of the reasoning behind that is because of weird thought beliefs like this that have absolutely no basis in reality. Something like this, validation, is a type of thing that is often used by narcissists to manipulate conversations in their favor. Bit of a rant, bit of an aside. I think that really triggered me, actually. That's another word that's ridiculous, but I'll use that. That triggered me. You don't deserve shame for your body. This is very interesting. No matter how it looks, every body tells a story. Does a story of your body innately validate your position in the sense that you shouldn't feel shame? Shame is an important thing to feel. You're supposed to feel ashamed of certain things, and it may be important to feel ashamed of your body. If this shame cripples you, right? If it makes it so that you loathe yourself to such an extent that you become immobilized, then perhaps the shame is not useful. But the shame in that case is not what is to blame. The shame is not the problem. You're the problem. It's the way you're reacting to the sense of shame, or your understanding of what shame is. You can want change and still treat yourself with compassion. That's absolutely true. But compassion and shame are not mutually exclusive. You could treat yourself with compassion, but also feel incredibly ashamed. No matter what the story of your body is, which, by the way, this means nothing. Every body tells a story. What does that mean? What do you mean it tells a story? Every sentence is a story. Taking a salt shaker and putting it on food is a story. What is it? This does not mean anything. You can't take anything out of this. You can only extract weird colloquial terms of self-help from this. It doesn't actually have any real valid meaning in truth. If this is affecting your mental health daily, consider talking to someone, a therapist, a doctor, or even a support unit. I'm talking to you right now. You are my doctor. Would it help if we talk through some ways to feel better physically, emotionally, even just small steps? What if I got myself a big pair of shoes and then went on to the store? I had to edit out I had to edit I had to edit out what I wrote next because it immediately told me to call the police. So we're gonna we're gonna move on to the lift, okay? It was a lift day, by the way. It was a lift day. Oh goodness. It was a lift day. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the show here. We're gonna go straight into the lift. I'm sorry, I'm out of control. I have that disease where you have to do the wrong thing, or you can't help yourself. You have to do something bad, whatever that's called. All right, I got one of those. All right, we'll get right into the overhead press. 3 sets of 10, terrible angle, terrible camera shot. The lights in my gym ruin everything, my life. They ruin the camera. They're the reason I'm not making $1 million a day as a YouTuber. It's a nightmare. But here, my overhead press, 60 pounds. Wait, that's not 60 pounds. What are we talking about here? I don't know basic math. 65 pounds. Those are 2 10s on the sides. Jesus Christ. 60 pounds. These felt good. I struggled with them last week, if you remember, or a week and a half ago. These felt solid. I'm still going a little far behind my head. I think it's fine. I feel okay. I'm clenching as hard as I can. I'm doing well with these. Today was a strong day. Last week, I had a weak week. If you're having a bad week and you want to see someone going through a bad week, watch my videos from the last 7 days, okay? Then we'll see who's having a bad week. But I felt pretty solid with it. Ooh, right there is perfect. I'm holding the camera in my hand. Very good. Yeah, very good. I left all this in. So with the overhead press, the way I approach it is I'm trying to focus a lot on where I'm grabbing the bar. I've been grabbing the bar a little wide, and I've also been not really focusing on my grip and my arm positioning as much as I should. And that's definitely been detrimental. I really just wander around, don't I? Okay, here we go. So again, sorry for the lighting. It's just the way these overhead lights in the gym are just utterly brutal. Okay, so I'm trying to get my grip to be more uniform. I'm noticing in a lot of my lifts that my form really is very variable. Again, I'm just not thinking. I'm not thinking of what I'm doing. I'm not thinking of the form. I'm just kind of banging the weight around more often than not. But I tried to really take it easy. I tried to really focus on what I was doing with my hands, where they were, what I was doing with my elbows. I noticed that my right arm, when I get to the latter portion of these sets, my right arm starts to bow out extra and start to push. I'm beginning to compensate for my inability to complete the push by kind of muscling it up with my biceps and taking the shoulders out of the equation, but almost hurting my shoulders, because I can also feel that when I start doing that, I'm also hurting my shoulder. So I tried to keep mind of that to not, hurt myself or injure myself. And also just to try and have it be a decent lift. But these felt fine. They were tough though. They were tough. The 65-pound overhead presses were tough for me. But I think that realistically we're getting there. I am not this fat right now, okay? This moo I'm wearing to the gym is not flattering, okay? I look better than this in person, all right? Just give me a break here with this. All right, what am I doing? I'm thinking about, it's all darkness in there, in that brain of mine. It's all bad thoughts. Okay, here we go. Went a little too far. And I pull it up. And this is the one where I have my arms the closest. I think the positioning is the best, and I'm trying really hard to focus on the way I'm doing it. It always feels good for those first 5 reps, of course. In the latter 5, I'm like pulling muscles out of my ass to try and get the bar over my head. But I'd rather have 5 sloppy reps of this, because it's not so heavy or so sloppy that I'm gonna hurt myself. I'm just trying to get through it. And they feel good. They still feel good. But my arms do start bowing out, and my biceps, and also my triceps, and like this part of my shoulder starts to really try to go, all right, brother, we're gonna do this ourselves, Good set. I was really happy with these. This, you'll notice, for one video today, I have a cameraman. My wife was at the gym today. She's in the background of these. Don't tell her. She knows, but she also doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? She's in the background. She's holding the camera for me for this. She's holding it for me. 225, banging them out. It's clearly time to go out. I thought this was going to be heavy because I had such a bad week last week, but I just destroyed it. I just destroyed these. Clearly time to go up. Now, I was like, do you want to record each one? She went, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's rare we go to the gym at the same time. I don't like the idea of going to the gym at the same. I want it to just be me. I don't want to share this time. She's there. She's benching. Don't look at her. Do not look at my wife while I'm. Do not look at my wife while I deadlift. What? No. She's in the other room. She just said, "Are you talking shit about me?" I'm not. But today we were there at the same time, so we're a little help. I also spotted her at the bench press. All right, so we both did some stuff for each other. But these were solid. I just walked through these, maybe a little sloppy here and there, just because I'm like not taking it seriously because of how light the weight feels. Light. The weight feels for me, but it's good, I feel happy with it. I feel happy how I wish my squat at this weight felt this easy, but last week when I tried to squat 2 plates, I was like, I'm gonna die. So we'll see how that goes on this Friday, because I'm gonna do the 2-plate squat again. But yeah, these were just like, deadlifting. I feel like I'm slow, I'm controlled. It feels right. So I could definitely go up, which I'm happy about. I'm really happy about. It's heavy for me. I'm sure I could do a lot more, of course, but in time. Part of me wonders, like, am I strong today because yesterday I had like 400 calories more than usual and slept? Probably, right? That's probably why. Whatever, don't think about it. We don't think about that. We don't think about how much easier this could be if I was eating. Bam. Bam. Yeah, these were solid, man. These were good. I don't know why I'm snatching my. Ooh, yep. I like to leave this in just as a message to all those out there that don't unrack their weights. You pull it off one side, it's very easy. You take this off the other side. What is this? This is a speed run. And then look, you do a little javelin. It's the funnest part of the lift for me, is pulling it out like this. I kind of feel like it's a spear, like I'm a Roman legionnaire. And then putting the weights back does suck, I'm not going to lie. That sometimes I don't want to do, and I want to cheat. What is this darkness? So I really want to talk about these for a second. I did straight bar curls again. If you remember, I was doing Z-bar curls, and it was much easier. I didn't realize it would make it so much easier. And at first, when I started doing straight bar curls, it felt weird on my elbows. But this was great. I did it 40 pounds, not exactly, I've done heavier, but these felt good. Doing like finally these curls kind of felt like not only was the form like consistent, but I felt a burn in my biceps. I felt good. Like I felt like I was getting somewhere. I'm very happy with these. I'm very happy with this time, my curls. For those that watch all my lifts or watch some of them, that like my accessory lifts, I'm sort of just like, I'm just being a goofball. But, all right, dear God. Ooh, look at how nice it looks. Is that a thumbnail right there? I think I'm giving myself a thumbnail. It looks so good because this is the only part of the gym that has windows. So that's why you could suddenly see like things and outside of 320p or whatever the footage usually is. These felt good, The last few reps of both sets, I'm not gonna lie, I swing a little bit, but it's like, you know what? Shut up. Let me swing the weight. Can't I just be a bro on some of these? Like, get out of here. It feels good to be a bit of an animal with the weight. You know what I'm saying? Don't let all my book reading confuse you. I'm a brutish clown animal. Brutish clown animal. It's the name of my band. And then I think I left in, you can see me consistently looking all the way off here where my wife is because I'm trying to distract her while she lifts. That's the other thing is I become very mischievous. So us going to the gym at the same time is kind of like not recommended because I cannot stop. All I can think about is how to mess with her. That's all I can think about, which is not helpful to her or me, realistically. Glad I left all this in for you guys. Here's me. Yeah, I'm clearly giving her the double thumbs up. She doesn't want to acknowledge that she knows me, by the way. She has no interest in acknowledging that she knows me. Part of me wants to like stare at her at the gym so someone gets mad and I'm like, dude, it's my wife. Like that's how bellicose I am sometimes. I'm like trying to get into an argument at the gym. All right, come here, big boy. Come on, let's go ahead and pick up the weight there, buddy. So these felt good, man. I'm really happy about these. I felt good at the gym today, which was great because last week was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. It's so funny how fragile I can be sometimes. I'll have a bad 3 days and I'm like, yeah, it's over. You're done with. You might as well pack it up, pack everything up, pack up lifting, pack up thinking, pack up sleeping, pack it all up, end it all. Like so, it's silly. But did my bike at the end as per usual. A solid lift. I've got nothing to complain about with these. A solid lift and a solid day. We're probably gonna end it there. I'm not gonna take up too much more of your time. I want to thank you all. Thank all the new folks who are in here. YouTube's weird. It's like I'm getting that video got I finally got a video over 1,000 views, which is awesome. It's one of those videos that's tricky to know how to take it and expand upon it because it's a video where I'm really just joking around. It's got nothing to do with losing weight, but it does also kind of have an implication with weight loss because it's an AI coach. So that alone makes it so I'm like, wait, did that video hit it off because of the losing 80 pounds part or because of the AI coach part? And of course, the reason anyone stuck around is because of like me and how I presented myself in it. But it's an interesting video to get a decent amount of views because I have no idea how to read into it. You know what I mean? But one day at a time. Gonna chill, take it slow with that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Like, comment, and subscribe. For the love of God, like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you soon. I am streaming this week. I'm gonna post a schedule up with this video for my streams, and I will see you there. I hope. If not, I will see you for tomorrow's video. Thank you again, guys.